Good evening. So after nearly a year of promises from the dais and in the media that the new audit would reveal fraud and top secret operations and other financial trickery and evil doing, here you are considering a request to allow an extension to resolve one potential adverse finding. Several things need to be said at this point, but I'd like to say that I have very strong concerns about what was said prior to when the auditors were hired. For example, Ms. Goloff, you told a former city employee last April that the auditors were being hired to find the fraud. And Mr. Stone, you said to the editor of the Synthesis that the audit would show not only that there was fraud, but that the former city employees were stealing from the city. And then, Mr. Grundle, you knew better, but you latched on to Mr. Sorensen's coattails, adding your voice to making all these unfounded accusations against former staff to try to shift the blame away from the policymakers, and in the process ruining reputations of former staff. Shame on you. Shame on all of you. But mostly shame on you, Mr. Sorensen. You've made it your personal mission to destroy the reputation of former staff using the threat of the audit findings as constant foreshadowing of some major revelation that's going to come out of this audit, and leading the citizens to believe that you'd been left in the dark all this time, when the truth is the information was provided. It was provided over and over again. And just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that it wasn't there. And I think that Mr. Constantine or Mr. Fields said that we've had 2 prior auditors, but in fact there were 2 other independent audits done during that time period that the unions hired. So we actually have 4 audits during that time period that were all clean. So what is it that we have here? Now we have this personal mission and the personal talking up of this fraud, and then we have the auditors now trying to come up with something that fits the picture. What really needs to be said is not something that's political, but what's going to happen if we do roll all of this into the general fund. If you have a general fund that's in the red, where are you going to come up with the cuts to balance the general fund? I've got one word for you: safety. So you need to think about that, and I hope that Mr. Constantine and his staff are able to resolve this with the auditors, and I really hope that the 7 of you will join in with your voices in trying to get this audit as unqualified, and stop with the trying to prove whatever it is that you're trying to prove by calling out former staff and taking the not taking the blame for your part of that. And so, because the citizens of Chico are going to be the losers in this. You may have a little battle that you've won by getting your adverse finding in this audit, but the citizens are going to lose. You may not, you want extra cops, you may not even be able to keep the cops you've got.
I urge you to go past the time. The signal is clear, to wrap. So I allowed you to go longer. That's enough. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.